Here are 6 quick and pretty low effort meal ideas that I like to make during hot weather. Some of these are go-to recipes, others are inspired by saved Instagram videos. Either way, they're all extremely delicious and fully vegan, and I would highly recommend you try some of these out for yourself. Ironically, it's really cold and gloomy out today. Also, thank you to Squarespace for the support. It's almost become routine that I start these videos off with a quick noodle recipe. These cold sesame lemon noodles are absolutely divine. They're so good, so satisfying, and will take you 5 minutes max. Bring some salted water for the noodles up to a boil. I'm using Me noodles here, but you could do any type of quick cooking noodle that you prefer. For example, rice noodles. In the meantime, mix together all the ingredients for the sauce. White tahini, I bought mine at the Arabic supermarket near me, and that's just the best quality. Also add a little bit of creamy natural peanut butter, light soy sauce, roasted sesame oil, white wine vinegar, maple syrup or agave, a teaspoon of lemon zest, and either some freshly grated garlic or some garlic powder, depending on what you prefer. Last but not least, add a splash of the hot noodle water. Here, you gotta move fast because 1 to 2 minutes before the noodles are done, you're going to add in lots and lots of fresh baby spinach. Drain everything, and then either rinse this with some cold water, or if you happen to have some ice around, you can just throw that on top, let it melt over it. Now bring together the noodles, spinach, and sauce. Taste test, see if you need some extra salt, and then serve it up with extra sesame seeds and some additional lemon juice. You could have, of course, also added some tofu on the side or some edamame or something like that. But even without, I feel like this is very satisfying because of all the sesame and the nut butters. Highly recommend. Now, when I think of hot weather dishes, first thing that comes to mind is gazpacho.
I'm having a glass of gazpacho. I love gazpacho.
My version has a very toasty flavor, which I love. First, I'm roughly chopping and preparing my vegetables, starting with an onion, some garlic, and some of these tiny green peppers. They're not spicy, but I had to double check. Next, I'm bringing some olive oil to medium heat, and then I'm pan frying the onion, pepper, and garlic in there for about 7 minutes. I'm doing this because I like the flavor better, and I also feel like it's better or easier to digest this way. In the meantime, I am toasting some sandwich bread, and then I'm grabbing my large high-speed blender. I'm adding the cooked onion, pepper, garlic mixture, the toasted bread. I think 1 slice is enough, 1 to 2 maybe. And then I'm adding all the remaining vegetables and ingredients, half of a peeled cucumber, and lots of tomatoes in all types of colors. Then I'm also adding some ice to help this cool down fast, some fresh cilantro, more olive oil, white wine vinegar, pepper, and salt. And in the end, I also added a splash of orange juice. Now, some recipes ask you to strain the soup, and then you get almost like a juice type of consistency out of it. However, it's an extra step that's low-key annoying, and I feel like taking away so much of the flavor. And so I would honestly recommend to keep the soup a bit thicker. It's a savory smoothie at the end, you know? I tried to assemble this as pretty as I could. I don't know. You tell me how I did. But yes, this could be a really delicious and fancy light main dish. Serve it with some extra bread and butter maybe, or have it as a side or a snack. Here I had the gazpacho next to this beautiful summery Chipotle BBQ sandwich. First, combine all the ingredients for the quote-unquote bacon marinade. So that's gonna be barbecue sauce, light soy sauce, yellow mustard, olive oil, and rice vinegar. I'm mixing that up well. And then I'm adding some thinly sliced firm plain tofu and somewhat thinly sliced mushrooms. Only doing 1 serving here. Now let this sit in the fridge for at least 10 minutes and up to overnight. For me, it was about an hour, and then I pan-fried everything inside a lightly oiled non-stick skillet for about 4 to 5 minutes per side. In the meantime, I'm preparing my bread. It was a bit more stale, and so I spread this with some vegan butter and then toasted this in the oven for about 7-8 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Next, I'm mixing together everything for the chipotle mayo: vegan mayonnaise, vegan sour cream, barbecue sauce, chipotle powder, and salt. Now onto assembling, starting with a layer of mayonnaise on both sides. Least I forget vegetables. I went for romaine lettuce, tomato, and pickles. Everything was kind of sliding off, and so I tried to hold the sandwich together by wrapping it, but I feel like I need to practice that a bit more. This was such a satisfying lunch. It was so good. Let's move on to these fresh cucumber noodles. These are heavily inspired by a reel I saved the other day. This is so yummy, so nourishing, satisfying, takes 5 to 10 minutes to make. For the sauce, I'm blending together about 1/3 of a large cucumber, some silken tofu, almond butter. You could also do cashew or peanut. Lots of fresh cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, go with basil or maybe even dill, although that will be a completely different vibe. Also some olive oil, some chipotle chili powder, garlic powder, maple syrup, rice vinegar, ice cubes, miso paste, and eventually some salt to taste. Next, I'm cooking up these fresh ramen according to the packaging. And then just like in the video, I'm serving this with a cucumber avocado topping. The ingredients for the dressing / seasonings, I added straight to the bowl. So salt, rice vinegar, sesame oil, maple syrup, roasted sesame seeds, cilantro, and more roasted seaweed flakes. Definitely make sure to give the noodles a cold rinse before plating. This is so yummy. It's kind of like a mix between gazpacho, konggukso, and like a sushi bowl. Now, one of my all-time favorite lazy recipes has to be this 5-minute spicy vegan tuna. And I've shared multiple variations of this in the past, but today I'm serving it in these magical rice paper crackers inspired by some videos I've seen on Instagram. First, grab a food processor and add a can of rinsed chickpeas, a spring onion, the white part, some light soy sauce, some vegan fish sauce if you can find it, some roasted seaweed, either in flake form, or you could also just go for a sheet of nori. Next, add some vegan mayonnaise, vegan sour cream, gochujang, and rice vinegar. Blend this up for just a few seconds, unless you want it to be entirely smooth, but I prefer having some texture. And now this could be served with leftover rice, some type of noodle, put it in a sandwich, or if you'd like, you could also go for the rice crackers. Heat up about 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and ideally test with a thermometer. You want the oil to reach about 170 degrees Celsius. Cut the rice paper sheets in half or into quarters, really any shape you prefer, and deep fry each piece for about 10 seconds at a time. Definitely handle the crackers with care and serve them right away. On their own, they taste like roasted mochi to me. I cannot put into words just how delicious this is. This could be a fun appetizer snack to make for multiple people, or just eat them all by yourself, which is what I did. I I thought it would make sense to end this video with my all-time favorite smoothie bowl. It tastes like acai, even though there is no acai in this recipe. But basically, grab a high-speed blender and blend up frozen blueberries, 1 to 2 frozen bananas, some nut butter of choice, cinnamon, ground flax or chia seeds, unsweetened cacao. I added another random banana half, and then lastly a bit of juice. Orange juice is what I would normally go for, though the other day I added some of this iron supplement juice. Either way, less juice is more juice, especially if you want a soft serve ice cream like consistency, provided your blender is powerful enough though. If not, just add a bit more liquid. It's still really yummy this way. Mostly for photography reasons, I served this with a single frozen strawberry and some sugar pearls, and then I also added some tahini, which I would actually highly recommend because it cuts really nicely through the sweetness. Even here in my more soupy attempt, I topped this off with some homemade date tahini chocolate bark, which this is based off of that online trend from a while ago. That would be my last video, not my last video, my last recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you have any other suggestions of what recipes, videos I should put out, let me know in the comments. And that's about it. Thank you so much for being here and watching until the end. Don't forget to check out my sponsor, Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to help you grow and establish your brand and business online. Start by browsing their wide selection of beautiful website templates or create your own from scratch if you prefer. Squarespace offers SEO tools in order for you to show up more often in people's search engines, helping you grow your audience and bring in new customers. You can do fundraisers on Squarespace as well by using their donation tools. You can generate passive income by offering content behind a paywall and create your own new logo within Squarespace as well. If you need any extra help, they've got their 24/7 award-winning customer service at the ready. Start today. Go to squarespace.com/MinaRome or use code MinaRome to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.